This is another happy foot moment. I'm on the ferry leaving Horseshoe Bay on the way to Langdale, and behind me is the wake of the ferry. It's a beautiful sunny day, heading up to Earls Cove on the Sunshine Coast. Another happy foot moment that I'll be bringing to you all summer long to find out about what is happening on the Sunshine Coast. Property. You can see it as, there's my wee little outhouse and the amazing view I have of Agamemnon Channel and Nelson Island. So there you have it. I've got a little cabin down below and a deck. There is the ferry terminal that is just right over there. There you go. I have my flag actually at half-mast because of what's happening in Norway, where my family's from. And there's my wee little trailer, kayak, and my bike. So if you drive by this area to look at it, also feel free to stop in and say hi, as I will do with you. Cheers! What's that I hear? Birds chirping in the trees? The melodic sound of nature at its best? Agamemnon Channel, reflecting the night sky. Oh, and what's this I see? Somebody relaxing? Ah, must be nice. Reading a book? Cheers. Timberline, Sunshine Coast. This could be you. Beautiful sunny day on a Sunday morning. After breakfast, a nice perch on the swing with a good cup of coffee. Let's see what's happening. Oh! We've got a chair ready to come back to after a long day out on our mountain bikes, riding the mountains on the Sunshine Coast. Well, the Sunshine Coast again. Another thing about being on the coast is that it is a shipping coastline, and in order to get from one side of the coast up to the other side of the coast is we rely on ferry traffic. Now you have to really appreciate that about this coast, and that especially with Earls Cove on Timberline Road is there is the ferry terminal right close by. Here I am after riding from Timberline Road down to Ruby Lake, and we're almost at the corner of Ruby Lake Lodge. This is a really lovely little bike ride. Off on the road, bike ride. Past that little island is the point, where there's a great little fishing spot, or rather swimming spot, if you want to stop on the way back from this ride, or on the way to. So it is a well-traveled road, as you can hear. Cars are heading up to the ferry at Earls Cove, and now I'm heading down to the Iris Griffith Centre, where I will have another little break and show you another fabulous little spot off Highway 1 on the Sunshine Coast. A place that you can enjoy. It could be yours. Well, that plane just landed. Wow. And it's going to go down back to the lake from where it belongs. It's turning. That was pretty neat. Good thing I caught it just in time. Thought it was a motorboat coming around the corner. Ruby Lake. For this older man with his fishing line off the side of the boat, I don't think life gets much better. Ruby Lake. Well, here we are at Iris Griffith Center. And there is, oh, someone's been cycling. Andrew just came down off the mountain. There's my bike, took the road from Timberline Road right to the Iris Griffith Center, a natural resort for field studies. Whoa, here's the natural little lake that they brought back in order to do their field studies. And in the back of this area are the trails that link up to Timberline Road, which go up to Klein Lake, and then down to Iris Griffith scooting and continuing all the way to Madeira Park, eventually connecting to Sea Shelter. So basically, right out our back door is all this. This could be yours. Okay, so Sunshine Coast enthusiasts, there is a turnoff from Highway 1 onto Egmont, which is this direction. And down that road is to Egmont. And this is the start of the Sun Coaster Trail, basically right outside our door. And remember those two bicycles that you saw on Timberline Road? Well, there they are. After a day of riding, there's the start of the trail. It's a nice wide track in the beginning of the trail, heads onto some really lovely climbing up through rainforest up to Klein Lake, around Klein Lake, and some lovely switchbacking down, heading into the back of Iris Griffith Center, and then up again into the power lines, through beautiful ups and downs and single track trails, gorgeous views, and then dropping down into Madeira Park. And it is basically right outside our door, which is in that direction, down the road to the left, Timberline Road. This could be yours, the Sunshine Coast. Here's another happy foot moment in cycling shoes, because we've been on a bike ride up the Sun Coaster Trail. Just down below us is Ruby Lake. It's a beautiful lake for boating. And just off in the distance you can see Sackinaw Lake, which is a narrow, winding lake. And apparently from one of these corners right below us, you can portage from Ruby Lake onto Sackinaw Lake. We haven't done that yet, but there's an opportunity there. If you look off in the distance, you can see the power lines, and under the power lines is the trail that continues on. On this trail where we just left, you can see part of the trail that winds through the trees here. The Sun Coaster Trail has just gone around Klein Lake. Now we've come off the backside, down through the forests. This trail continues on down to Dan Bosch Park, and then you can scoot by Iris Griffith Center as well and take you right down to Pender Harbor, Madeira Park. All on off-road riding, beautiful trails, single track, wider tracks, and ups and downs and switchbacks. What a beautiful thing to do on a sunny day. Like we like to say, it's a very happy foot moment, enjoying the outdoors. Sunshine Coast enthusiasts. This is part of the Sun Coaster trails that are starting at the Skookumchuck, or rather up near Earls Cove, where our Timberline Road property is. And this is one of the beautiful natural streams we're passing on this trail. I'm actually on the part of the trail that's fairly well groomed and easy to manage for those of you who are not quite as risk-taking, and then it gets onto some single track that is just fabulous mountain bike riding that goes up and down and climbs and twists and turns. Fantastic countryside, a beautiful forest, and just a delight to be in. And here's my very happy little foot. Woo-hoo-hoo! I love mountain bike riding on the Sunshine Coast. This could be yours. This is a ferry that is now departing from Sultry Bay after cycling all the way up to Powell River and back. It's about a total of about 65 kilometers round trip on our bicycle from the ferry to and from to Powell River and then back. But you can see it's quite a pretty little harbor. And it's one of the things you can do when you're in Earls Cove. If you like cycling, there's that extra leg. You can also head up from Powell River up to Lund and then get over to Savory Island or ferry over to Comox as well. BC ferries. Beautiful way to travel. So, we're up at Earls Cove at Timberline, and what's nice about being out here is you're feeling like you're camping, but as you can see, I just have poured myself a lovely glass of wine. I have made fresh pasta with fresh garden peas, olives, and fresh tomatoes from the market, some fresh basil, and some fresh oregano, and some grated Parmesan cheese, and because I have the trailer here, which means you can go inside, there's electricity, there's water, you can cook your meal, sit down, pour yourself a glass of wine, and enjoy the view. It's a cloudy day today, there's a few little raindrops falling, the air is fresh, There's my wood pile for a campfire later on.